Alrighty, we can get started and just do some light intros here and get started learning more about MGT. So welcome to our demo today. On the team, on the call, I have my colleagues, Ali and Dan. And we're going to go ahead and start and do some quick introductions. I'm going to go over a few of our recent wins, some of the things we've bound recently. Going to get into our demo of our current platform. Leave room for any questions and, of course, contact information if you folks need anything. So my name is Annalise, and I work in partnership success. And what I do is I help agents get into the MGT platform, bind business, and feel comfortable with our platform. I work in customer service as well, so helping all our policyholders and agents, making sure that they get the assistance they need with their MGT policies. And I also have Dan here.
I'm Dan, National Sales Manager here at MGT, and I work very closely with agents like you who are new to our platform, just to help you have all the tools that you need to succeed, because we only win when you win, and we want you to win as much as possible. Thanks so much for joining us today. Ali, why don't you take it away?
Hi, everyone. My name is Ali Essian. I'm the head of partnership success, and I get to work with these incredible two people each day. And we love being able to support you in all the ways that you need to be supported. Thanks.
Awesome. So let's go ahead and jump into a few of our recent wins. So at MGT Insurance, we have a really big appetite. We write all kinds of things. You think medical offices, professional offices, fast food. And you'll see here in our recent wins that we've done a couple great things. We've recently written a realtor in the state of Oregon. In the state of Kentucky, we've written a liquor store. And in the state of New Mexico, we've written a casual restaurant. So you'll see here that we're finding success in all different states, in all different classes. I do want to highlight up here our medical office chiropractor class. We found that really we're a great place for niche medical offices. We recently wrote a neurological office that they did some sort of testing using medical devices, and that was actually in our appetite. So we're a great fit for those medical offices, professional offices, restaurants, and barbershops, things of that nature. But here's just a quick little look of the things that we've been successful in recently. And if you guys have any questions about our appetite or our website, I'm going to show you right here. So our website here at MGT Insurance is new. So it's our new marketing website. And on the website here, you'll see you have the ability to chat on the top bottom right corner of this image. You can chat with our service team. So we have a service team that works Monday through Friday, but we also have an AI support agent that is really a good expert in our policies and the written policies that they can help you with anything you need at any time. Image below is showing our appetite agent, Amy. So she's a great resource. The AI Amy is a great resource for you to understand MGT's appetite. If you just want to work at midnight, you want to get something bound, you're not sure if it's in our appetite, you can come here to this appetite agent, ask her some very general questions about appetite, and she should be able to give you the correct answers. If for whatever reason you're not secure with those answers or you're not sure, definitely use the other chat function so that we can just confirm the information. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and share my screen of the MGT platform. So do we see here, guys, do you see my UAT screen? Yep. Awesome. So this is what our platform looks like right now. MGT is going to come out really strong in 2026 with a brand new platform. But what we've got right now really serves its purpose, and it's what we've been able to build a really great book of business on. So I still love this platform. We got something new coming, but for right now, I'm going to show you what we're working with. So this is our MGT platform, and what we do here is we quote quickly. We want to make sure that you're able to get your policyholders the coverage they need in a reasonable amount of time. We use a lot of technology on the back end, and so our goal is to get these quotes through and get them in a bindable state without any underwriter referral. Some classes that are a little bit more complicated, like restaurants, convenience stores, liquor stores, those things are often going to go to referral. But if we're talking something like a coffee shop, a bagel shop, things like that, most likely we're going to be able to get those in a bindable state in 10 minutes or less. So for this demo, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a quote for a coffee shop. And the way we select quotes here is you don't need to memorize any sort of NASIC codes. You can just type in the type of business that we're looking here. And for this one, I'm going to be quoting a coffee and tea shop. And then we're going to be using Google Maps to kind of find the location of that business. And this is really where we're starting to use the technology and getting the information that we feel is necessary to get this in a bindable state. So I'm going to go ahead and click go here. And you'll see here that we're using, like I mentioned, Google Maps. You can kind of take this image right here, make sure that this is the right risk that we're quoting, making sure that the business looks good, everything around the business looks good, sure there have been broken windows, a lot of trash on the ground, sort of breaking brick right here. That's not going to be really the best fit for us, but as long as it looks like a clean building, clean surroundings, should be fit in. So this is actually a business here close to our office that is a coffee shop and that we love to go to all the time. For the sake of this demo, I'm going to say no, we don't want to insure the buildings at this location, but we do offer property coverage, especially if you're in some of those inner states. Property coverage is on the table. And then if you operate out of any units that you owned, I'm going to select no here and continue. And so MGT, it's a 4-step quoting process. Just real quick, I'm going to jump into a quote that I've already started. Just that way we can just avoid the typing every single item. So I'm going to jump in right where I just left off. And it's step number 1. So it's a 4-step process here at MGT. And we're just gathering the basics of the organization. So we've already selected the class. We've already selected the address. That's something that cannot be changed. So if we selected the wrong class or we selected the wrong address, a quote would need to be restarted. Then we're going to scroll down here and we're just gathering more about the organization, phone number, gross sales, percentage of alcohol, things of that nature. Right here, the business owner information I also find is very important. Just making sure you're putting in the best contact number. For whatever reason, if we need to get in contact with the policyholder on your behalf, we want to be able to do that effectively. Next, I'm going to go into more about the basics of the organization. When do we want coverage to begin? The year that it was established. This business here is a newer business, a newer venture, but we have a manager that has about 5 years of experience. And so that's what we're looking for in new ventures, especially with restaurants, is that the manager that's going to be managing this restaurant has at least 3 years of experience. Whether or not this is a franchise and employees, things of that nature. So we're going down here about optional coverages, bankruptcy, required health code violations. You'll see for this quote, it's a little bit longer because we're talking about a coffee shop. Medical offices, their quote questions are a little bit shorter. One thing I want to note here is when we would like coverages to begin, we do not offer same-day buy-ins. It needs to be 1 day out. So if I needed this coverage starting today, the closest I can get it is to tomorrow. And that coverage will begin at midnight on the 2nd. Next, we're going to go into section number 2. It's a little bit more about the organization's activities. Do we operate seasonally? Are we open after 11? Do we sell any foods or items that are prepared on site? And there are the playgrounds. So for this coffee shop, this is really your straight through coffee shop. They might get pastries delivered in the morning, but there's no egg frying, there's no flat grill, there's nothing of that nature. It's just like an old school coffee shop. We do have the opportunity to have coffee shop with hazardous cooking. That would be a different class, so just wanted to highlight that here. Going to go ahead and click continue. And then we're going to go into step 3. So just getting a little bit more information about the location here. For this policy, it's going to be BPP only, what type of building it is, the square footage that we have here. If there's automatic sprinklers in the building, that's a little thing that we offer a discount on. And then the amount of BPP in the building. And we're going to click continue. So in this quote process here right now, it might seem like there's a lot of questions. In our next platform that's coming out, hopefully at the start of next year or later this year, it's going to be a lot quicker. We're going to be asking less questions, but it's essentially the same idea here. We're asking additional insureds up front whether or not there are any in for this policy. We do ask that if you know this information prior to getting this bound, it's really helpful to just get it all in the original policy docs. If for whatever reason endorsement needs to be made after the fact, we utilize an endorsement form. Submit that form, it goes to our service team. It takes about 24 to 48 hours to get that endorsement complete. So we try to work pretty fast here. For this quote, I did select that there was lessors of leased equipment and a manager of lesser of premises here. And we're going to go ahead and click continue. We're going to capture that information right before we bind so that we make sure we add it to the policy. And then the last step right here in the 4-step process is optional coverages. And so for this coffee shop, I did select spoilage here. In case something happens, I want to make sure that my milk is covered, things of that nature. So I did select milk as the perishable inventory. It's a $5,000 coverage limit. And the select your type of coverage. So for this one, I wanted to do equipment breakdown, contamination, and power outage. You could also do power outage only if we felt like, it's only the milk. I'm only worried if the power goes out. Or you can do all three right here, which I'm just going to select. Right here, we're just making sure that you have, people that you rely on for servicing the restaurant if something were to go wrong, inspections, repairs, things of that nature. Just wanted to make sure that the risk we're writing is covering their bases as well. And that's it. That's really the 4-step quoting process. Went through that pretty quick, but it is that quick. If you have all the information up front, shouldn't take you any longer than 10 minutes to get through this quoting process. And right now, what we're doing is we're just waiting for all the checks to be happening on the back end. We're going to provide a quote here that we feel very comfortable with. Let's see if I got this through without any underwriting approval. And I did. So I was able to get this quote all the way through. No underwriting approval. It's a new venture. It has a manager that has 5 years of experience. We're comfortable with that. We think we can bind this. If we scroll down here, you're going to see this is the coverage, or this is the price we're offering based on the coverages below. If you pay annually, there's a little bit of a discount. If you don't want to pay annually, you can pay quarterly, 1 upfront payment and 3 following payments afterwards. But this is the quote with the coverages that we've offered right here. Let's say, though, I want to maybe increase some coverages here, maybe increase the damage to premises rented to me. I want to put that at 100K. Do I want equipment breakdown? I want to make sure that's included. So I made a couple of changes to this quote here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to recalculate. The goal when we recalculate here is to not get any errors. Right here is just acknowledging general liability. So let me recalculate the quote once again. The goal when we recalculate these quotes or when you change coverages is we still do not want this to get to underwriter referral. Our goal is to get this quote in a bindable state, and I was able to do that. I made a couple of changes. Quote was recalculated. Price went up just a little bit, not too much. And so we have a really great quote here. For the sake of this demo, let's say that I have my policyholder with me. This is the best price I've been able to find them. MGT wins this business. Let's go ahead and get this into a bind state. So I'm going to continue here. When we continue, we're going to essentially lock the quote at this point. We've selected the coverages we want. You can print the quote and send it to the policyholder. You can print it and save it if you need a quote against others. Or we're going to go ahead and take this to confirm and purchase. Like I mentioned, folks, right now we are doing everything under this platform. In just a short time here, we're going to be moving to a new and improved platform. So some of these billing options and things of that nature will change, but we'll get into that when we cross that bridge. But for right now, this is the work that we've got to do here. So we're going to go ahead and put in manager of lesser equipment. And then I'm going to put an address here. I'm just going to select a couple of things here just for the sake of this demo. And again, here you'll see that we're using Google Maps just to make sure that we get all the correct addresses for the additional insurance as well. Want to make sure you agree here and click continue. By doing this during the quoting process, it's going to ensure that it gets into the policy documents, so no changes need to be made afterwards. There's 2 ways that we can purchase this policy right now. You can send it to the prospect. What this does is it sends the quote to the prospect. It encourages them to create their MGT platform. They're going to select the billing information, enter the billing information. Right after billing information is entered, they're going to get the authorization. It's just a couple of check boxes, agreeing to electronic information, and then also agreeing to auto pay. And then for purchase now, essentially this is what the policyholder is going to see if you send it to them. Same exact layout here. We're going to pay annually for this. I'm going to be using a credit card here. We're using a third-party payment server, so all the information is secure. If we need to change billing information after the fact, that's something that the policyholder can do in their self-service, and I'll show you briefly how we do that. So you'll see here, I'm just entering card information. And I'm going to save card. Saving this card then makes it able that I can pay the card. I'm going to put in billing zip code. Ensure that we want auto pay checked here. Deselecting auto pay will take it off of auto pay. The policyholder and you, the agent, will get reminder emails for this payment. But I will say that we've had multiple policies go into cancellation and then later reinstatement because they were not on auto pay. If it's within a certain time period, we will reinstate, but if that time period lapses, we will not reinstate a policy. So we do encourage the auto pay. And then again, circling back to business owner phone number, make sure you put in a great phone number for this example. If we need to get in contact with someone, we're contacting the business owner directly. So we're going to go ahead and select auto pay, make sure we have all the information correct here. Just going to put in some email. Going to go ahead and click agree. And let's just make sure everything is set. And folks, I know that this demo has taken about 18 minutes. That's about the amount of time that it takes to get through all of this. To quote, to bind, takes about 20 minutes. It's very quick, very effective. I don't know why it's asking me all these questions here. I've used the test too many times, apparently. Okay, that is not what I was expecting. Let me just go back here, folks. Well, let's pretend I've got this to bound. It's a bound policy. What happens here is it goes away from my quotes page here, and it lives right over here in my policies page. So as an agent at MGT Insurance, you have all your quotes. Once you get those quotes to a bind, it's going to move into your policies page here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and dive into a little bit of what it looks like as a policy holder. So once, let's say that Press and Pull coffee shop, it just bound, they've just logged in, they've accepted terms and conditions. What they see here is their self-service portal as a policy holder. So as an agent, you've done your job, you've gotten them the best policy possible here at MGT Insurance. The ball is in their court now, and they can manage their policy. So right over here under documents and communications, it's probably the most important page. They can view or print their declarations page, create certificates of insurance. This is something the policyholder has the ability to do, but you as the agent also have the ability to do that. So for every policy you bind, you're going to have the ability to get into the self-service portal for each of those policies individually. You'll see here, these are all the emails that we've sent to the policyholder. So if a billing email went out, it'll live here. Welcome email, it'll live here. Another thing I want to just highlight here is under accounts home, you can change the profile of this account. So let's say the treasurer changed. We need to update that email address. That's something that could be done by the agent or the policyholder right here, change email sign in. The policyholder can also change their contact information. So this is not the address that is on the policy, but contact information for the business owner or the contact. The last thing I would like to state here is under payments, we have a payments home, which is our billing. You can see the billing that has been selected, if it's annual, if it's quarterly, all the information is showed right here. And we can also update the payment method. So if the card is expired or we know it's expiring, that's something that could be done here. Card information can be updated. So folks, I know I went through that a little bit quick, but it would, like I said, it is that simple with what the product that we have right now, this demo platform that I'm showing you. Just going to jump right back into my slideshow here. And if there's any questions, a couple of things before questions, I just want to state, like I said, we have a brand new platform coming out soon. We're starting to pilot it, just starting piloting it today. And it's going to look a lot different than what we've got here. But what we think we're doing here is we're taking our company a step forward, bringing in technology, bringing in AI, and helping the insurance industry move forward as well. Folks, do we have any questions in the chat? Doesn't look like it. Great. That means I did a great job, I hope.
You sure
So
did. Great work.
Thank you. This is contact information, folks. Chat support is going to be the quickest way you can get in contact with us. That's straight off our website, MGT Insurance. If you need any sort of technical support, support@mgtinsurance.com is another email. And then underwriter support. So you can get in contact with our underwriter directly at underwriting@mgtinsurance.com. We as a company have been growing exponentially. It feels like we've 10x this year. So our volume is increasing. We're still trying to hold ourselves to 24, 48 hours SLAs for underwriting support. But if you need something underwritten right away, get in contact with us. Let's get that business moving forward and get that bound here at MGT Insurance. So I'm really grateful for you guys taking the time to join us today for this demo. Really excited for where we're headed. Very proud of the team of everything we've built. You're going to be really impressed with what we've got coming next. So thank you folks so much, and I hope everyone has a great day. Bye, everyone.